Good morning, Thursday the 5th of November. Got it right today. Yesterday I was a bit off with my days, but firework night, fix my week, keep my head warm if nothing else. So November Men's Mental Health Month, and doing a little vlog every other day when I can to raise awareness for men's mental health, physical health, men's well-being, because stereotypically men find it difficult to perhaps access their feelings and also ask for help, and could perhaps leave it too long to go to the seek help externally. Just watching my dog here playing with a stick. If only life was that simple. So, addiction. And podcast last night. The reason I'm saying good morning, Kieran, how are you? So, podcast last night, a bit of everything with Clark and Lewis was on imposter syndrome, feelings like a fraud, feeling like you don't belong, feeling like you're going to get caught out and all that kind of stuff. And then after we finished the podcast, we had a little chat around about sort of behaviours that we can do to make ourselves feel better, and like rituals and practices and things like that that can make you feel better. So as I said yesterday, folk those say, why do you get in the water every morning? Guys are over there swimming, I'm not. But I come in the water every morning because it gives me a boost of energy like for the day, and it kind of clears a bit of foggy thinking, and it just makes me feel better. So I like to do things now as we start to get older that means that you can still participate in activities that require energy and things like that, right? So what I notice is, and what we started talking about, sorry, I'm getting a wee bit lost, what I started talking about last night was about, do you think we're addicted? Do you think we're addicted? Because one of the other guys, Clark Burrell, he's in the water as well down at Shatler in Hamilton, and he's like, do you think we became addicted to it? Because when you don't do it for 2 or 3 days, you start to feel bad. And it's like, well, is it that you start to feel bad, or is it that you're just not feeling as good? And of course, coming in here creates endorphins, the connection, communicating with other guys just about how their day was, having a wee bit of a moan, a wee bit of a rant, whatever that might be. That's okay. That's good. We come in the water and we start to, we do that, and that makes us feel good. Okay, so it makes us feel better and it gives us energy, right? So, like I'm really finding I'm addicted through this training and mountain I've embarked on, and I've got to go on mountains. I've found that I'm sort of feeling like I'm addicted to mountains and having to get out into the great outdoors and be by myself, just me and the dog when I can, and get up and feel as if I've achieved something with getting up to the summit. Now, when we're doing things kind of keep us buoyant, that keep us afloat, that keep us above the water, that keep our mental health, if you like, in check and gives us energy, we feel energised, we feel as if we're more inclined to sway towards a positive mindset, okay? And I'm not saying that when you're feeling positive you wouldn't turn to addictions, but when we start to feel bad, groggy, lethargic, slow, we start moaning and complaining, we get in and we buy into a negative kind of mindset, that's where our focus goes. And when we start to get into that rut, if you like, of the inner critic and those self-debilitating thought processes that we get into, we're more likely to turn to addictive type behaviours, drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, zoning out on the internet, zoning out watching TV. Like when I'm feeling a bit off, I'm more likely to scroll in my phone and compare my life. Morning, Rab Fraser. The water is fine, Eddie, and Connor is over there. Just chatting to your dad. Connor's over there floating about with a big smile on his face, quite the thing, quite happy. So we're all doing good. Yeah, so like I notice when I am maybe a wee bit off sorts, I might find myself getting into ruminating thought processes, which is not helpful. And I might find myself scrolling through my phone and comparing my life to other people's lives. Whereas 75% of my week, at the end of the day, I'll read a book before bed, and I'm in a more positive place when I'm doing that than when I'm sitting scrolling through my phone. But anyway, addiction. So, you know, the majority of us have been traumatised in some way in our life, and right now we're living through what can only be described as a very traumatic experience. You know, our rights are kind of in some regards getting taken away from us. We're being asked to stay at home, we're being asked not to socialise, we're being asked not to touch one another, we're being asked all to do the things that actually we didn't realise before that kept us afloat. Good metaphor as I'm bobbing in the Clyde. That kept us afloat, okay? So, you know, all people have been traumatised, and not all of them end up addicts. But in my experience, all addicts have been traumatised. So we turn to drugs and alcohol and destructive behaviours as an attempt to try and free us from the pain that we're feeling, the suffering that we're going through. And that suffering might be at an unconscious level. We might not even be aware of the level of unhappiness that we're in. You know, other people might see it before we do. They might reflect to us, oh, you're not yourself right now. Nothing wrong with me, I'm fine. You know, stay away from your dad, he's in a bad mood. That kind of vibe, okay? And then as a way that we try and soothe that ilk, if you like, we might start to participate in behaviours, destructive behaviours. And before you know it, that's became a pattern that we find very difficult to get out of. So what we think is going to be the cure ends up actually causing more destruction and pain. So if we were able to catch how we were feeling, if we were able to catch what was going on with us, if we were able to look inside, which is very, very difficult, and see where we're at, how are you really feeling about what's going on right now? How are you feeling about your job? Have you got a job? Have you just lost your job? Are you worried? Do you feel defeated? Do you feel deflated? Do you feel as if you're like just you're done? I've got no more to give this, and you just feel as if you're going along with waiting for another announcement to see what the next plan's going to be. Do you feel as if you're completely on hold? Do you feel strangled by what's going on? You know, whatever that might be, I don't think for a second that you're the only person that's feeling it, okay? Because I've got a boy out here now, Connor, that I was chatting to on the way down. He's only 21, I think. You 21, Connor? 22, right? Connor's 22. And, you know, he had booked to go to a log cabin with his girlfriend. And that was about one of the only things that he had in the diary this year once he came out of lockdown. And that looks as if it's not going to be there for him. And just chatting to him this morning, walking down, of course he's upset. He's angry about that. And he's going through and experiencing something around that. It's how he starts to process that and look to other things that he's still able to do, but losing focus now because it's really, really cold. I notice that I lose focus when it starts to get my eyesight starts to go. How long have we got? We've got 30 seconds left. But to end off tonight, got a guy called Kevin Boyle who is coming on to share his story of recovery from drugs and alcohol. He's been 18 months sober, and he contacted to say that he'd like to come on and share his story with us all. So 7 o'clock tonight, I'll be chatting live with Kevin Boyle. Listen in. You don't need to, you just, with an open mind, because maybe something that he says will resonate with you and it'll stop you in your tracks of where you might be, where you might experience you might be. And at the end of the day, we all could do with a bit of a rope and get a wee bit of a pull out the water. So I wish you a great day, great fireworks nights, and even if we're only watching digital fireworks on the TV tonight, I hope it's a good one for you all. Remember the 5th of November.